Hello, my name is Timothy Lee Rogers Sr., and I'm the creator of the Smart Money Manuscript. But Tim, what is the Smart Money Manuscript? The Smart Money Manuscript is your roadmap to financial freedom. Inside this powerful course designed to transform your financial future, I've meticulously condensed over 1,000 of my public YouTube videos into 40 highly efficient lessons that span just 2.5 hours. This course is strategically designed into 4 phases to help guide your learning in the most logical and effective way possible. Phase 1 lays the groundwork, covering essential financial literacy like budgeting, banking, and taxes. In Phase 2, you'll move beyond the basics, learning about brokerage accounts, figuring out how much you need for your own individual retirement. You learn about how to do fundamental research on companies, and you'll also learn how to conduct technical analysis by looking at stock charts. Phase 3 empowers you to build a robust portfolio and leverage your capital using advanced techniques like options and futures, and it also teaches you the importance of backtesting your strategies. Finally, Phase 4 takes a deep dive into the advanced ICT concepts, giving you a professional edge. Each lesson includes a short quiz to help solidify your understanding. By the end of this journey, you'll have the confidence and tool that you need to make intelligent investing decisions, manage your money without fear or ambiguity. So if you want to be a long-term buy and hold investor, if you want to be a swing trader, if you want to be a day trader, if you want to trade stocks, if you want to trade options, if you want to trade futures, the Smart Money Manuscript is for you for $69.99. Yes, $69.99 for all of this here. What's going on, everybody? I'm still trying to figure out why I can't hear nothing. I'm still trying to inside my headphones, man. Tripping. This right here driving me crazy. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. What's going on? I don't know what it is. Why I can't hear nothing? I don't know what it is. Why I can't hear nothing? I don't know what it is. Why I can't hear nothing, man? I don't know what it is. Why I can't hear nothing, man? I don't know what it is. Why I can't hear nothing, man? Don't know what's going on. Check, 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 check. Check, 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 check. It's going through my speakers, but for some reason, nothing coming out of my headphones. I don't know what's going on, man. I'm sorry, y'all. But this drives me crazy. Right, this right here said, like, I don't hear nothing coming through my, alright, let me see. I see like sound going through the mic, but I don't hear anything coming out of. See speakers. All right. Then when I talk, I can hear it coming out of my speakers, but I can hear it coming out of my speakers, but I can hear it coming out of my speakers, but I can hear it coming out of my speakers, but we'll get started in a minute, y'all. As soon as I figure it out in a minute, y'all. As soon as I figure it out in a minute, y'all. As soon as I figure it out in a minute. Tell me, boy. Windows 11. Windows 11.
When does 11?
When does 11?
When does 11?
When does 11?
How y'all doing today, man?
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 When does 11?
How y'all doing today? 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 What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Nothing. Now I can't hear anything. Now I can't hear anything. I can't hear nothing. I can't hear nothing. I see stuff. I see stuff. I see stuff moving around, jumping around. But 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 I see stuff moving around, jumping around. Yesterday, Thursday, Please, right here. Why these on zero? Please, right here. Why these on zero? 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 See, now that done changed. 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 I don't know, man. I don't even know what's going on. I don't know. I don't even know what's going on. I don't know. Oh well. I don't even know what's going on. I guess it ain't meant for me to know. I don't even know what's going on. I guess it ain't meant for me to know. I guess it ain't meant for me to know. I guess it ain't meant for me to know. I don't know what's going on at all. What is? Junior. Y'all hold on, man. We're gonna get started. man. Well, I'm officially pissed off. I'm officially pissed off. I'm gonna try to get through the episode anyway. But yeah, I'm telling you, man, it's like like the smallest thing will set me off. The smallest thing will set me off. And when I get set off, the smallest thing make me mad, man. And then once I get there, it's like a done daughter for real. It's like a done daughter for real. But we're gonna try to get through the episode anyway. All right, I'm gonna try to get through the episode anyway. What the gang get? Gang. Y'all ain't pulling up. What's good? It's after 6. Ain't nobody here. Ain't nobody here. Ain't nobody here. I'm already mad at my computer, and then ain't nobody pulling up. I'm already in that mode. I'm already in that mode. All right, man. All right. Reset. Shirt all sweaty from the gym. Got the old man neck on my collar. All sweaty when I went to the gym. All right. Reset. Grab me a sip of water and we're going to reset. All right. Now, let's get to it, man. Let's get to it. Let's get to it. Excuse me. Now that we 15, 16 minutes into the episode, good evening. If this first time tuning in to Tim's Tidbits, please allow me to say welcome. If it's not your first time tuning in to Tim's Tidbits, I still want to say welcome. But I want to give you a nice hearty, well, thank you for always tuning in to Tim's Tidbits. If you don't know who I am, my name is Timothy Lee Rogers Sr., a.k.a. Aranya Grande. That just be Big Spot if you know hablo español. And you're in tune to another episode of the Intraday Price Recap. You feel me? Hey, man. Y'all give it up to yourself for tuning in, man. Y'all give it to yourself for pulling up. Give it up to yourselves for, wanting to, what I'm saying, further your understanding of the ICT concepts. You say something going on with Zoom? You say something going on with Zoom? Did I not share the right? Hold on, man. Yeah, hold on, man. Let me see what's going on here.
That's the same. It's the same thing. I see Yolanda just popped in. Yolanda, is something going on with Zoom? Yolanda just popped in. Is the Zoom acting crazy?
Uh-uh. I just popped in. I had my phone in another room, and then when I came, I saw the bat signal, so I'm on.
Seawalk said something going on with Zoom.
Oh.
I don't know.
Well, when I first clicked, it did say like the host ended the meeting, but then it automatically still
Hey, Timmy finally
took me
let
to
me
that
in.
page. It did say like the host.
Oh, you in? Okay. Yeah, you said at first it was saying that the host ended the meeting.
It say host ended meeting, but it still would keep going, populating to that page where you agree that you're not a financial advisor, and then it brought me in. So it was weird,
Oh
but
yeah.
it didn't hold me up or anything.
Hey, Timmy finally let me in.
Yeah. I heard you. I heard you when you say you popped in. I see you popped in too, but I'm trying to figure out what, man. It's a CON conspiracy, man. But like I'm having a bunch of issues with my computer. Like it's too much going on, man. I don't know what's happening. It seems like it's just like issue after issue after issue after issue, man. Like I'm so frustrated right now. But we gonna power through it, man. We're gonna power through it. You feel me? Hey man. Let's go ahead and get into this price action. Before we get started, man, did price do something today that caught you off guard? Man, I hate how I got the sweaty neck on my shirt, man. Crazy. I wore this shirt I wore to the gym, and now I got the sweaty neck. Now my shirt I'm looking at it right there. It's got the sweaty neck. Got the like the neck all wrinkled up. Pull it up tight. It look horrible. They want to get a whole nother shirt and put it on, man. Oh well, it is what it is. It is what it is. That boy got the sweaty neck. That boy got the sweaty neck on his shirt. I make it a little bit better like that right now when I do that. All right, man. Did price do anything today that caught you off guard? All right. If
It's
price
not
did
off guard. It's just I don't know if when y'all watching the candles lately, because I feel like it's more manipulated than normal. To anybody else, does it sometimes seem like the candles just sit still and don't move at all, like in the making of that candle? 'Cause I was watching like YM at the same time as NQ and ES, and it was just like the candle looked like it would actually, so to speak, stop.
you say stop,
Like
like
it's not moving at all. Like Chloe, please stop. Speaking of stop, you stop. It's not moving at all. It's almost like it's so manipulated. It's just like at a standstill. That's what it's just been looking. You know how you can usually see it either bouncing up or down? Just lately, it's just been looking like sometimes it's just, I know it's indecisive, but just kind of almost paused. And I was going to ask you, is that just the heavy manipulation we in right now?
I don't like you talk about like on like the higher time frame or
No,
just
like
like
on a 15. Like I was watching when YM was going up this morning, taking out the London, and then it had some like a little more liquidity up top, and it just kind of just stood in that same area. Not so much a consolidation, but the actual candle was just, for to me, pause for a little bit, and then it would start oscillating again. But I just chalked it up to manipulation, and I was wondering if anybody else is seeing that, or y'all just waiting for the candle to finish.
yeah, I would need to see like an example of it in real time what you talk about because I can't visualize in my mind like cause I know sometimes when you're looking at like the higher time frame candles, if prices like consolidate and like really tight, it may look like the candle ain't moving. Like if you're looking at like a hourly candle or I've seen it with an hourly candle, maybe a 15-minute, but like if you're watching um if you're watching like time like the candles move and you're looking at like a higher time frame candle, if the price is consolidating in such a tight range, or if it's moving back and forth in such a tight range. Sometimes it'll look like that higher time frame candle ain't moving, but you'll see the price changing over here inside the price thing. But I haven't seen it like be like an issue where, cause like even now how price is moving slow, I could still see this candle moving around. You know what I'm saying? So I'll have to see it in real time exactly what you talk about to see if I understand what you're saying. And I'm still trying to figure out what's going on with these with this headphone thing. Let me see. See. Output device. I don't know what's going on here, man. See, everything is set to default. Everything is set to default, but for some reason, I can't hear anything in my headphones. Rear Tech speak. Okay. Rear Tech HD audio. Your default speaker has changed to Rear Tech HD audio second. So what does that mean? Okay, I can hear now. I can hear in my headphones now. I can hear in my head. Somebody say something in Zoom for me. Okay, yeah, I can hear you. All right. So Realtek HD audio second output. All right. And then when I turn this up, check, 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 check. Okay. So when I turn that up, it don't, like, I can't hear nothing on my speakers now. So when I put my headphones on, I gotta change it to Realtek Audio 2 output. That's the headphone jack. And then speakers. Man, it ain't supposed to be that difficult. I'm supposed to be able just to plug it in. And it automatically just picks up. System use only. It should just automatically pick up without me having to change stuff around, man. See, now I can hear my So if I plug my headphones up, I got to change this. I got to manually change this. If I plug my headphones up. This is retarded. This is stupid. I've never had to do that before, ever, on a computer, where I got to manually change the setting when I plug headphones in. Never had to do that in my life. Okay. All right. Now that I figured that out, let's try to go ahead and get into it. Okay, so, but yeah, um, yeah, Yolanda, I would need to see that like in real time. Like, and you say you was watching what, the YM when it was doing it, or the NQ? What which one was doing it when you were saying you was watching it and it was like the candles wasn't like moving? Yeah, yeah. I didn't see any like glitchy type candles. I didn't see any candles like pausing. Um, I don't know. Maybe it was a connection thing. Maybe like your connection was like kind of wonky or something. But I haven't. I've never noticed that, and I didn't see anything weird like that today. But I can't say I don't be looking at the YM like that. Only time I look at it is when I'm looking at like divergence, so I don't be like watching it like candle by candle. Okay, but without further ado, let's go ahead and jump up to a daily time frame. Right, we're gonna jump up to our daily time frame, and um, as we see here, we talked about this yesterday. We said that since we're in a sale program, right, we would want to see this move from Monday, right? Let me turn off these crosshairs. Monday, how we came down, right, and took out the low and then rallied off of this fair value gap that we borrowed from the continuous contract, because this is so spotty over here. Once we hit that and we rallied back up into the premium of our range, right, into this bearish order block, we said that we would want this bullish Judas swing that we got by going down and then up to turn into a wig snatcher, based off the fact that the higher time frame is in a sale program. So with today's price action, right, we have completed that by coming back down below that low from Monday. I don't know if y'all can see that line that I have there, but there's a line there on that Monday low that says prior day low. It says PDL, right? It says PDL. That's on my chart. That stands for a prior day low. So that wig snatcher, right, is playing out. What's a wig snatcher, Tim? When we go in the direction that price is in this case a sale program, so we go and take out sell side liquidity, then we reverse, right, and trade back above buy side, right? So we trade below that daily low, right? We trade back above that daily high, and then we turn back around and come back below the lows, right? So that's the wig snatcher direction you want to go. Run the other way, right? Tricking people into going long in this case, and then turning right back around and coming back down, right? So the wig snatcher has played out, right? We talked about that. We're eking lower. We keep showing signs of respect and bullish order flow, but we're still in a sale program. So you would want to see that bullish Judas swing turn into a wig snatcher. And here we are on Thursday, right? We got that, as Michael like to say, in spades, or like gangbusters, right? Delivered like gangbusters. Okay, we see that we opened up the week down here, right? This was our weekly open right there. If we turn on our new week opening gap, All right, turn our new week opening gap on. That's the quadrants. I mean the eighths of the new week opening gap. We turn our new week opening gap on, right? That's our new week opening gap. We open here, right? Below that daily low, drop down. Remember we said there's a breaker down there. Do I still have that breaker in here? Or did I delete it? Let's see. Might have deleted it because I typically get on mark breakers. But if we come over here to the continuous contract, right, we can see the breaker. That's the breaker there because we talked about it on the continuous contract and we marked it on the continuous contract. But that's the breaker right there, right? And that low, that's the same low. That red line, that's the same low that we was talking about on the front month, right? So that's the breaker right there that I'm talking about. I typically don't mark out breakers and order blocks for my chart, and I just like to know where they are, right? I just want to know where they are when we're trading near them, right? So once we came into that breaker, price rallied up and came back up to a premium of our dealing range, our latest expansion of our overall sale program, right? Then we got nice premium sensitivity at this bearish order block, right? We talked about how we were respecting mean threshold of this down close candle for the next few days, right? Tuesday, then Wednesday, right? And then today, boom, we got the drop, right? We had an inside day on Tuesday, right? We had an inside day on Wednesday, right? And then boom, we got the big move, right? These inside days right there, we talked about it. We were opening and closing in the exact same area, right? If you look right around here, right? So Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, we was opening and closing all in this small little range right there. And if I come over here to my new day opening gaps, right? If I turn on the new day opening gap for Tuesday, it's there. Turn it on for Wednesday, it's in the exact same spot. You just see it get a little darker. And then Thursday is right there. So all of the opening and closing is happening in this tight little range right there. So we're just sitting there consolidating / engineering liquidity, right? So in this case here, now we see that the algorithm was acquiring short positions, right? How do you know it was acquiring short positions? Because we got this dump and came all the way back down to Monday's low, right? And we've come down again, poke below Monday's low. What does that do? That extends our bearish dealing range just a little bit more, right? We're continuing to extend this sell program to the downside, right? Now, Tim, how does that help me? It helps you because you already know that we're in a sell program and the invalidation point is way up here for this sell program, right? Because when we squeeze this up, right, what do we have right here? This right here is a balanced price range, right? Here, here, this right here, right? This is yes, that right there. This is coming, right? It's breaking outside of this area right here because we come all the way down below these bodies right there, right? So that CB right there is starting to leave this area, right? We have it. Yeah, you can use it over here, like on this retracement back here, right? That's what it came back to here. It came back to the imbalance there, right? Then we wigged up into the last up close candle of the order block, and then we left the area, right? And then we got, it's a very small little sibby right there, right? As we're leaving that area right there, really small little sibby right there, but price came up here, went into that SIBI, right? Then there's a, like we turn the set on, right? There's a bigger volume imbalance up there that we talked about before. When you turn the set on, right, that bigger volume imbalance that we spiked up into there, right? When you turn on that set, we spiked up into that larger volume imbalance there, right? And then price dropped down from there, right? That's something that we was talking about, Michael has spoke about before. And then once we left that area, now, right, we've completely left outside of this whole area where we was consolidating. So now this is our balanced price range right there. So now if we're bearish and you're below a balanced price range, you want to see this act as resistance, right? And so when we gapped down this week and came back up into the premium of our dealing range, right, we're going up into that repricing that really, it's just a really small fair value gap right there on the daily, right? A really little fair value gap right there, okay, in between those two candles there, right? Really, really small. But not only do you have that really small fair value gap, right, it's trading back up into this bearish order block at the low end of this balanced price range, right? And we get that premium sensitivity. So when you're looking at price, right, and you're in between the tail of two cities, right, what do? We study price based off what it's doing with the PD, with the most current PD arrays, right? What does that mean, right? We're outside of this range here, so now that makes it a balanced price range. What makes it a balanced price range? We offer sell side and buy side delivery and then leave. The leaving after offering buy side and sell side delivery makes it a balanced price range, right? The leaving, that's what makes it the balanced price range. Now the buy side and sell side offer, that just makes it efficiently delivered. Leaving makes it a balanced price range. All right, once we leave it and then we're below it, you want it to act as resistance. When we trade back up into it here and we get that premium sensitivity, right? Okay, boom, that's showing you we're respecting that. Now down here on the discount side, right, we have a discount PD array. When we trade into it, we rally off of it. We're seeing discount sensitivity. That's showing that we're respecting it, right? So this day we respect the discount. This day we respect the premium. Remember we said we're in between the tail of two cities, all right? So now as we move into the next day, this day right here, right? What are we looking at as far as our PD arrays? Okay, as we go to the premium, we have a premium wick that we haven't traded to before, and we have a discount wick that we have traded through a couple times now, right? But we're still in that range, so it's still important. But we're, in this case, we're putting the weight on this because this is the first time we're trading up into that area right there. All right, so now what did we say? We said that this bearish fair value gap's job is to push us below that low, right? We talked about that before because you want to know what their job is to do. This bullish fair value, bearish order block, this bullish fair value gap job is to push us above that high. You know what I'm saying? Going up, right? So we come up here, hit the order block stops us and pushes us back down. Now, who's going to accomplish their mission, right? Now we have a premium wick here. Let's go ahead and we'll put this. The consequent encroachment is the most important part, but we'll go ahead and put it in the 4th grade just to give us a little bit more insight on how it's being used, right? A little more detail about how it's being used. And so we have the premium wick, right? And then below us, right? What's below us? The new week opening gap, right? Why are we looking at the new week opening gap and not the wick, right? You can look at either one you want, but the new week opening gap is the newer PD array, right? Right? Because we got the wick here, and then we gap down and made the new week opening gap and traded back above the wick. The wick's still important, but the new week opening gap is the new imbalance, right, after the wick. So now the new week opening gap, its job, right, is to send us above that high. This premium wick's job is to send us below that low. Okay, so this day here, we bounce in between them. All right, who's done their job? Nobody has done their job yet. We're just here engineer. It's an inside day and it's a doji, right? What does that mean? Right, we know that dojis mean indecision. Indecisions mean consolidation. Consolidation mean engineering liquidity, right? You still don't know yet. Okay, boom. So then the next day we come over here. Now, what you want to remember about wicks, right? If we have a premium wick, if you stay below consequent encroachment on a closing basis, right? That's heaviness, right? That's heaviness. That's still respecting bearish order flow. If you stay below consequent encroachment on a closing basis, right? That's just like any other PD rate, right? Down here, if you stay above consequent encroachment, that's bullishness, right? So right now, long as you're below this daily wick right here on a closing basis of below consequent encroachment, right? The sell program still intact. You're still looking for lower lows, right? Why? Because we're in a sell program. All right. You're still looking for lower lows as long as we stay below consequent encroachment of that wick, right? And we're watching to see if we continue to respect bullish order flow, but we're still looking for lower lows because we're in a sell program. You always stick with the higher time frame order flow until it's proven wrong, and you just watch for how is it respecting the opposite side to see if it's starting to build a reversal. All right, so then now we didn't make it to consequent encroachment. So now at this time here, you do not have to move to that wick right there. Moving to that wick, there's nothing wrong with moving to the wick, but you don't have to, right? Why? Because we didn't make it to consequent encroachment of this wick, and this is still the wick that did the most damage in this area right here. So you can still use this wick as your premium PD array, right? But there's nothing wrong with moving to the new wick, right? And using that for lower time frame narrative as far as how am I going to operate within this wick. Why? Because that's your more recent premium PD array that you're looking for price to respect or disrespect. And at the same time, you still want to remember that this is your premium wick that did the most damage, and you want to see how are we closing on this on a daily basis to see if we stay below consequent encroachment, because this is your premium wick that did the most damage. This is your premium wick that went into the premium of your dealing range and got that discount, that premium sensitivity. This is the wick that went and did, you know what I'm saying, what it needed to do to the upside as far as manipulation and came back down, right? So you're watching this wick because that's the high that should stay intact. All right. So now on this day, we go up and we stay, right? We trade almost to the high of this wick, come all the way back down, closing below consequent encroachment, right? And then now this is our newest discount PD array on this side over here, right? And we come down, what do? We respect consequent encroachment. So each day, right, we're still not giving any indication of what price wants to do yet, right? It's not giving any indication that we're reversing. It's not giving any indication that we're continuing. So what do we stick with? The fact that we're in a sale program, right? We stick with the fact that's what we've been talking about every day. We're in this slow trickle down, right? But price is over here engineering liquidity, right? And then we talked about this right here being around the 50% point, the equilibrium, right? When we talked about that, we had everything marked out and we was like, hey, we're right around this fair value. We're opening and closing right around this fair value. We're engineering liquidity right around this fair value. You see what I'm saying? We'll talk about that, right? So then today, right, when price opens up today here, right, remember, we didn't get down to consequent encroachment of that wick, right? So you don't have to move over to this wick if you don't want to, right? But you can move over to the wick and watch how price is using it inside there. And then once you go outside of the wick, right, you still got this wick over here. You watching how price use it, right? And once you go outside of the wick, right, we still got our new week opening gap, right? The quadrants on our new week opening gap there, right? I got it broke down into eighths, right? To watch it. I hate how they're sticking way over there. Let me fix that. Line those up. All right, so because you're just going down through your PD arrays that I'm pointing, like y'all can see, you're just going down through your PD arrays that's designed to support price, right? And because we're in a sale program, what did we say we wanted? We wanted price this, because we're coming down, we wanted this bullish Judas swing to turn into a wig snatcher. So what do we want? We want to see price melt down through all of these PD arrays, right? And then once you trade through the new week opening gap, right, what else do we got down there? This daily fair value gap. Let me hide this eighths there, right? Then if we come here, our daily fair value gap, I got so much stuff on here. I got it broke down into eighths over there also, right? So and what's the purpose of the eighths? That's for the intraday time frames. We'll talk about that once we go intraday, right? But that's just how you monitor your PD arrays, right? As price comes up to them, you use the PD arrays that's already been established to help you understand, is the sell program still intact or is the buy program still intact? And you already have your thesis outlined, right? Because we said that over here, we want price, right, to come back down below the lows because we wanted a wig snatcher. And we finally got the move away here today, right, after these days of consolidation. You say, Tim, what could I have seen to anticipate that it was going to drop today? Nothing. There's nothing you could have seen that said it was going to drop today. Not a thing. The only thing that told you that it was going to come down here is exactly what we talked about, right? We left this balanced price range. We traded back up into a premium. And so now we're anticipating price to go down. When does it hit that? There's nothing to say when it's going to hit it. Nothing. The only thing you can do is use the PD arrays to see, is price still drawing toward that, or have I hit my invalidation point and I'm going back up? Right? That's why we always want to know what's our invalidation point for whatever liquidity we drawing toward. And we already talked about our invalidation point was trading outside of this high. All right, so if price knocked around in here, even came up and took out that high right there, right, that's just internal liquidity inside our dealing range. Right here, this was our lowest low, this was our highest high, and as long as we didn't knock out that high right there, right, we hadn't reached our invalidation point of trading into that low inside this sell program. Y'all do me a favor, man. Hit a like for the algorithm and subscribe to the channel if you ain't subscribed. Is there anybody that's confused about anything on the daily chart before we drop down to intraday time frame? He said it ain't no algorithm. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I'm glad I've never been one of those people who just like refuse to believe that there's an algorithm. I've never been one of those people. Right? Never been one of those people. I've used to trade retail concepts, right? But once I heard of the smart money concepts, heard of ICT, I was like, man, this makes sense. I don't know if it's because I'm a computer guy. I don't know if it's because I went to school for computers. I don't know what it is, but this makes sense. That's the 24th. I just named that so I know what it is when I go to the lower time frame. All right. I don't see nothing in the chat. What's going on, Felicia? What's going on, Rhonda? Shout out to everybody that's in the Zoom. I know we got Lumpy. I know we got Yolanda in there. Who else we got in there? Seawalk, Steve. Shout out to everybody that's in the Zoom, everybody that's on the YouTube. Do me a favor, share this out with somebody who you think might get something out of it, man. I posted the gems from the live stream. They went live today at 9, 12, and 3. For those who don't know, the new format on the channel is when I do the live stream at night, right? The next day, I share what I call gems from the live stream, and it's 3 different videos that I post, and it's one from, the order is like from the daily time frame, because if y'all haven't noticed, the new format or the new structure of the live stream is analyze price from the daily time frame. Then we drop down to an intraday time frame, usually like on the hour or sometime the 15-minute. And then we go and zoom in on the New York session from that day. So the next day, the video that drops at 9 a.m. is the daily time frame video, what we talked about during the daily time frame. Then the video that drops at 12 p.m., that's the first drop down into the intraday time frame, looking at how price moved in that range throughout the intraday time frame, usually on a 60-minute, sometime a 15-minute. And then the third video that drops at 3 is the deep dive into the New York session, when we drop down into like a 15 or 1 minute time frame, and we look at what price did during the New York session, and that drops at 3. And then we come back together at 6 o'clock. So everything is stretched out in time. So at 9, you get a video. 3 hours later at 12, you get a video. 3 hours later at 3, you get a video. And then 3 hours later, we're back here together live at 6. Just like that, right? So that's the format. That's the new format of the channel. So for anybody who can't make the live stream and you don't want to sit there and go through all of the hiccups of the Windows 11, all of the back and forth of me having real stuff going on, you know what I'm saying, the side tracks, the squirrel moments, all of this right here, you don't want to sit through all that and you just want to get to the meat and potatoes of it, then the videos the next day is just the meat and potatoes of it, right? So tell a friend to tap in. And if do me a favor, hit the like for the algorithm and share this with somebody who you think might get something out of it. Be the barber, man. My homeboy be the barber, you feel me? He just man, I'm the milkman, baby, man. Hey, them Rogers boys, they don't keep their hair like that. You know, me and Uncle Al, see, I'm through Uncle Al lineage. Uncle Al daddy is my granddaddy. The rest of y'all got different daddies and different granddaddies. Carry on. All right, man. Let's go ahead. We're gonna drop down into our intraday time frame. And why did I do that? We're gonna drop down to our intraday time frame. And dropping down into our intraday time frame, let's look at remember our PD arrays that we talked about as we went through price. Okay, so let's go to first of all, we talked about the daily wick here. Remember, we rallied up into the premium. Okay, we rallied up into the premium. Then we said when we opened up this day here, we was watching the daily wick and the new week opening gap as our premium and discount PD arrays. All right, so for now, let's just turn off the gaps, because we just gonna focus on the PD arrays that we talked about. Man, got too much going on. All right, so we're looking at we said we're looking at this wick, and then we were looking at, I need a new week opening gap. I'm tweaking the new week opening gap. All right, so oh my God, come here. So my new week opening gap, right? And then turn off that and that. All right, and then my premium wick, I don't have it in here, so let's make a premium wick. All right, so that's the premium wick from the 23rd. All right, so premium wick day 3, 23, 26. All right. Okay, now looking at our move this over one, because I want this to only show up once that is relevant. That's why I'm moving these over. I'm moving these over so we know, right? We only want to watch it for when it interacted with price for the 24th. right? We don't want to misconstrue it with any of the other price. All right, so I can hide the actual gap and we can just look at the quadrants, because those are the PD rays that we said we were looking at for premium, resistance, and discount support on this day. All right, so now we go down into our 60-minute time frame, right? And we see that let's knock off this other price too, so we don't get confused. So we're looking at it for that day. All right. Okay, so here we go. This is Tuesday's price action, right? So looking at Tuesday's price action, this is an hourly chart in reference to our premium PD array and our discount PD array that we're watching for support and resistance. Now remember, when we came in on Monday, if y'all remember, on Monday's price, when we rallied up on Monday, right, as we were up here trading, we remember, gang, during our tape reading, we said we do not want to see price use this SIBI from 5 a.m. on Friday as support and continue up, and we do not want to see it use this SIBI from 9 a.m. on Friday and use it as support and go back up, right? We said if price wanted to go back up, we wanted to see it do it from down here in the discount, right, at an area right here above this balanced price range. We want to see it use this balanced price range as the support to go back up, right? We talked about that during the past streams we've been doing. All right, so now here we are on Tuesday. Okay, when we come here, opened up here on Tuesday. Now right here on Monday, where did we close? We closed below this SIBI right here. So now if we get above it, right, this is the first SIBI in this move down. If we get above it, if price is bullish, it should use it as support. Since we don't want that, right, and we get back below it, what are we looking for it to be? Resistance. So now this is our higher time frame resistance that we're watching, right? Those quadrants, that's our wick, right? And now we have some intraday resistance that we want to, we got an intraday PD array that we want to act as resistance. Why? Because we closed back below it here on this hourly time frame. So now we want to see this be used as resistance. All right. And what do we see price doing here? We see price defending the upper half, right? I don't have that anchored properly right there. So, oh yes, it is. There's no gap there. All right. But there is a gap down here, look like. Yes, there is a gap there, right? Okay, and there's a gap down here. No gap. All right. Right, so we see price, right? We see price defending, right, the upper half, right? We come in here, we drop down there, right? We get a closure below it, right? We open up on Friday, we trade up, right? Defending the upper half, right? We can't get above the upper half of that PD array right there. And which one is that? In this entire move down, that's the first one in this entire move down. Okay, we were looking at this one because that was the first one we had got above, and we were looking at this one because that was the first one after leaving this balanced price range when we were above it. That's why we were looking at these two, right? Now that we're coming back down, right, same thing. right? This one here is the very first one in the entire move down, and all throughout Tuesday, right, we were unable to get back above consequent encroachment of this SIBI on a closing basis on the hourly time frame. We were unable to get back above it, right? You say, well, Tim, we were able to get back above this one on a closing basis. Yeah, fine and dandy. But guess what? This is the first one. So this is the one of that has the most importance of showing what price really wants to do, right? That one right there is the one that you want to know what price wants to do. Okay? Mm-hmm. You talk about because it displays past this structure right here. You got, yeah. So we got an area. We got like all of this right here is coming down, right? So this right here overall is one huge area of distribution, right? You accumulating shorts here, right? This whole area here is your area of distribution. All right. But inside this area of distribution, right, we come down here, right? We form a little consolidation area, right? We rally up and then we form an area here, right? So then we break away from that area right there. So now we have a balanced price range here that we don't want to get back above, right? And then once we come down here, we break away from this area right here, which makes us leave this entire range there, right? This right here is making us leave this entire range right there. But in the fractalized sense of what's going on inside there, right, we have this area and we have this area. Two different sections coming out of here, right? But this here is the first one in this entire drop down, right? So this is the first of this entire drop, but when you're fractalizing it, right, this is the first one coming from this little area right here, right? And all of that is above this balanced price range there. So as we're coming down, right, you can use these first to look for them as support if price wants to mount up a reversal, right? But if it's not mounting up a reversal, then you want this reclaimed SIBI to be the one that's your main focus, because this is the first reclaimed SIBI. Then after this does its job, then you can start looking at this one, because this is the first from this piece of price action. But when you're going back through price, you always want to understand, where did it start at? Where did it start? It started here. This is the focal point. This is what I need to be watching, right? This is what I need to be watching. And then you also want to remember, like, where does it fall in the sense of your what's the names? You're having a freaking brain cramp. Your levels, right? You're looking at your levels. You want to see what is it falling on. And this one here, you see right here, we're falling right there on that quadrant, and that's not an accident. You see what I'm saying? So in the sense of this move down here, right, this reclaimed fair value gap is at the upper quadrant of our overall little drop down right there, right? Coming all the way back up right there. This is marked as eighths. Just go and put it in there for everybody who can't see it like that, right? Right there at that upper quadrant, right? So that right there, when you put it in the fourth grade, this is falling on a quadrant and this is not, right? We're looking at those PD arrays that's at those important spots. Not saying that the eighths aren't important, but time and price. You know what I'm saying? Where was it created in the overall move? It's in the premium. Where is it? It's at a quadrant, right? It's at that upper quadrant right there, right? It's the first SIBI in the entire move down. It has precedence. Make sense? Yeah. And also, you don't want to zoom in so far that you're like not paying attention to the higher time frame, right? And what do I mean by that? Right? This, right? This PD array down here, right? Price has a reason to come up here because remember, this is our higher time frame PD array. We're looking, this is our anticipatory reactionary point up here, right? This wick here is our anticipatory reactionary point. So if we want price to come up into the wick, right, which intraday PD array is in confluence with that? This one here, right? This one here is the one that's in confluence with our higher time frame PD array, right? This one here is like moving below it. So if we expect the price to come up into this, right? And this is our first SIBI in the entire move, right? We're not paying attention to that one until we get further down, right? And say, hey, how is price reacting inside there? Why? Because this was a price leg inside of this dealing range, right? And this is the first SIBI inside this price leg right there. So until we start moving down where the algorithm is starting to, for lack of better terms, ignore the price action up here because it's done with it, right? Then we can start looking for other PD arrays that we can anticipate price to use as resistance, like it's doing over in this area right here, right? We can see, oh, we got this SIBI there in line with this SIBI right here, right? We're leaving this little piece of price action, right? So now once we come back up, right, where we come back to consequent encroachment of this, back to our wick, the lower quadrant of our wick, right? And then once we drop back down, we can see that we're using these PD arrays like this SIBI in confluence with that SIBI as resistance right there, right? But that's like going deeper and deeper and deeper into price to look for like scalps inside a consolidation range based off of a higher time frame PD array, right? That's the way you can use that stuff. But we always want to focus on what the higher time frame is doing. So we want to go to the PD arrays that's going to support or what's the word I'm looking for? Invalidate the higher time frame order flow, right? Which would be that PD array right there, that SIBI, and our wick. Okay, so moving on. Our higher time frame. Let me get this out of here. All right, our higher time frame premium PD array, our higher time frame discount PD array. Right, where do we stay that entire day? In between both, the tail of two cities, right? The tail of two cities, right? And remember, I don't know if y'all remember, right? But I talked about how Michael talked about this a long time ago, where you can take two PD arrays, and depending on if you're looking at the highest high, right? If you're looking at the highest high, then you can go to the lowest low of those two PD arrays, and that's your event horizon, right? If you're looking at the distance in between them, right? So you go from the highest high of the discount and the lowest low of the premium, right? And that's your event horizon, right? In between the PD arrays, right? You're either going in between liquidity pools, right? Two liquidity pools. What's that? Your extremes of your range, right? That's two liquidity pools. You're going between the extremes of your range, right? That gives you event horizon. That's no difference than a dealing range, the highest high to the lowest low, right? If you're looking at this sell side down here, right, down to a further sell side that's down there, right, you can get event horizon in between those, in between two liquidity pools, in between two PD arrays, in between two fair value gaps, in between two, right? And where is price consolidating? It's very conveniently is staying right there in the middle, right? Staying right there in the middle for the entire day,